What's up, guys? So we're back at the shop, and today, Saturday, we got a CRV 2005, and we need to do brakes, and we need to also do a ball joint on the right side. I've done a video. Well, I didn't do a video, but I was replacing the control arm, and the ball joint was floppy. It couldn't even come out. The threads was marred up completely. It was just a mess. But found a way to put it back somehow together because the car had to drive out of here. So told the customer about it. Long story short, car's back here today. So we have a fan to put on. This is going to be a condenser fan. Then we also have, like I said, the ball joint and the brakes to do. So I'm trying to give you some shots along the way. The studs were replaced. As you know, if you know Hondas, you can't really replace the stud except that you have to do a bearing job. But some mobile mechanic came and somehow put on the stud, so I'm not even sure how reliable that job is. So I guess we won't know what's going to happen now until I can remove those lug nuts. So hopefully they still have some threads left, because my understanding is you can. I mean, you can try to force them, but they're going to come at an angle, and then most probably some of the threads will be compromised. But the guy did it anyway, so saved the lady some money supposedly. We'll see. Okay, so surprisingly enough, I mean, they definitely wear there. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see the wear clearly, just like I expected it. Because this repair is not to be done like this. You have to replace the bearing because the hub doesn't give you enough. And a Toyota will work pretty fine, but this one you can see all the marks of forcing this thing in. But is it a viable repair for somebody who doesn't want to spend that kind of money to replace a whole bearing? I would say yes. So kudos whoever got here and done. I mean, I've done it before myself, but that's when I learned that this is not to be done. But there you have it. So if you're in a pinch, I guess you can do this, but it's definitely the threads kind of compromised there. But the nuts came off with no problem. So maybe just use a little bit of grease or something to help it in and out, and that's about it. All right, so now I'm going to remove caliper, remove the rotor, because we're going to replace brakes anyway. But it's also, I need to do that to be able to remove the spindle, because we're going to do this ball joint out of the car. I don't want to do it in car. It's kind of, it's just a little much. So it's got to come off. All this got to come off. And so next shot, hopefully everything else around here will be already off the car. Yeah, so the studs aren't even sitting all the way. As you can see, there's a gap right there. The other one is even worse. You can see some of the knurling right there. So again, maybe I spoke too soon about this guy's job, and you can see the back, how he was trying to force it in, and whatever he was trying to use, who knows. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it the right way, see that? You have to go and do all of that stuff, bend all of this stuff just to gain access. So this can never make contact with the rotor from now on. Oh, man. Yeah. So that's why you don't do this repair this way. You just do it the right way, and yeah, it costs money. I'm sorry. So if you're taking it to some shops, hopefully they do the right thing. They thread everything by hand and then use the impact guns, so you don't end up with this type of situation. All right, so she's out. And this is the reason why. I mean, she's been driving like this for how long, I don't know. Because when I put it back on, when I was doing these control arms, that's when I noticed it. And I know it was like that for a while because the threads was already marred up. This is me at that time trying to remove it, and I had to cut it off. The nut was completely everything was spinning in place. So there was no way for me to even do the job properly. So I had to cut the nut off, and this was some of the consequences. But the threads were already compromised. So I was looking at this, I'm like, wow, how long have you been driving like this? And from that time to now, it's probably been a month, and she kept driving the car this way. Ignorance is really bliss, yo. Straight up. All right, so I had made a socket. I didn't make it, but it just happened to be like that. That is strictly for Hondas. If I can find it. I haven't used it in such a long time. This is it right here. I mean, this clamp is just, I don't know what's doing there. Let me take this clamp off. It wasn't there. So this has an adapter from my kit. I have a ball joint kit. This is one of the adapters. So I was using the adapter with this socket and a hammer to take up the Honda, and it got stuck there, so I just left it there. You know, and this is a sacrificial socket at 29 millimeter. But for the Hondas, as you can see, let me show you just now. It just became a tool unintentionally. You see, it fits perfectly around this circumference right here. So with that and a good pounding of the hammer, this will be out here in no time. So next shot will be out. All right, so she's out. The board is clean. There's no roughness, nothing like that. So we got it going back in. And that's about it right there. You don't want to ride your car with this type of ball joint. You don't know when it's going to pop out. All right, let me get the new one here. Okay, so that's new ball joint from AutoZone, the Duralast brand. Part number right there, SB6272. All right, all customer supplied. So I'm gonna find a cup. This is my press. That's a press kit right there. I'm gonna find a cup that's gonna fit the bottom side of it. That's too big, way too big. I have to find something that is just gonna sit like that. I might actually just use the bottom of the press by itself. I think it'll be enough right there. All right, so that's the setup. I can kind of see the ball joint through the opening. That's what I wanted. So now I'm gonna get my impact driver. All right, so she's all the way in. Okay. So now I'm gonna put the snap ring. All right, she's in. Snap ring is in. So now we're ready to put it back onto the car. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll get back with you once we finish that. Throw the new brakes on there, and be done with this side and move on to the other side. You know, we're halfway there, I think. All right, and that's the finished product. No ball joints, no brake pads and rotors. That's about it, guys. So I guess at this point, take it for a spin and see exactly how everything goes and deliver the car. Done. Last but not least, we're gonna take care of this fan. The fan is right here. I think if we can just pull this side of the bumper, I don't think I have to remove the bumper, but I definitely have to remove these brackets here for the radiator and the condenser to be able to have some type of give. And I think I'll be able to pull the fan from between these things here. So let's get to it. All right, she's out. Again, just the grill takes off from these 2 points right there. You got some push pins, and then those two brackets, one for the radiator and one for the condenser, just to have enough give to put it back, and boom, out. Let's get the new one. Show you the part number from AutoZone. Part number is DL620233 condenser fan. All right, let's go fit it back on.